What's up, guys? This is Showtime's Fight Forum. You already know what it is. It's your boy Showtime. Thank you for watching. As always, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment button. So, man, this was an amazing week of fights. Like MMA, boxing, whatever fixings you had, you won it. You did get the big fight with Bellator with the 145-pound division. You also got the mega fight at, well, I ain't gonna say mega fight, I'm sorry. But we'll say the big fight at welterweight division in boxing with Ugas versus Errol Spence Jr. And I mean, we're gonna talk about all of that. And I say we, I mean me. So let's go ahead and first talk about the UFC event, which was Vicente Luque versus Bilal Muhammad. I was dead wrong, completely wrong, and 100% wrong. I did say in order for Bilal to win, he's gonna have to mix it up, use his wrestling, and his advantage is that he has great cardio. He did exactly that. Bilal is not the most exciting fighter in the world. He's not gonna put butts into seats. He has a great personality. He's really funny on Twitter and social media. I mean, when they posted him getting knocked out, he literally said he was gonna block UFC because of it, which I thought was hilarious. But that doesn't translate into his fighting style. He's pretty boring. He's not really a threat to get a finish, and it's not even an overwhelming presence like a Colby would do that makes it at least entertaining. It was, picking, kind of walking around the octagon, picking my shots, and, not necessarily pick him apart, but hit him with shots, not be hit. And then when he gets too close and he commits too much, double leg, take him down, ride him a little bit, rinse and repeat. Smart. I mean, he got hurt a couple times, but he's finally honed into what makes him good. And he's been doing this the past few years. That's why he's like on a 7-fight win streak. But he knows what works for him and what doesn't work for him. And in order for him to be successful and to be great, he has to be unfair to say, but a less entertaining fighter to get up to the upper echelons in fights. I'm not gonna lie, Vicente Luque, he disappointed me. He's one of my favorites. He's normally never in a boring fight, and I just expected more from him. And the takedown defense was not there. It just was a poor showing on his part. And unfortunately, now he's back in A-ball. He got to start over. So that title shot, bye-bye. Bilal, I mean, what's next should honestly be Gilbert Burns. I think that's a great way for you to stake your claim. If you could beat Gilbert Burns, you should be up next for a title shot. I don't think Chimaev should be next. I don't think Colby should be next. I think Colby and Chimaev should fight next. And if they don't fight next, then yeah, maybe Colby and Bilal. But that's, in my opinion, another easy dub for Colby. I want to see Colby tested versus somebody that's not Kamaru Usman. Tired of him getting these guys that are favorable for him. Bilal is very, very favorable, but not Chimaev. So that's the fight I hope to see. Vicente. I mean, I don't know. I'm just more so hurt. Like, I mean, maybe you could fight. I can't even think. Like maybe you could fight not Leon, but the winner between. I'm drawing a blank, and I'm just gonna move on because I don't want to keep on thinking about it. But I am genuinely drawing a blank of who Neil Magny, the Neil Magny fight. Maybe fight the winner or loser of that fight. Maybe the guy Barry. Maybe could fight him. I don't know. There's a few fights out there, but unfortunately, you've been next out, bro. Now, let's talk Bellator real quick. I was terrible in my picks. I've been on a slump, and I can't wait to get out this slump. I think this week is going to be the week, but I've been awful. Bellator, I was completely wrong. I was technically, I'm going to say I was 0-2. The Aaron Pico, we already knew once again that guy was going to get waxed no matter what. He's just not on Aaron Pico's level. Aaron Pico, I don't really know what's next necessarily, but he needs to get a step up, man. Like, you don't need a title shot, but you need to get a step up in competition. That's a deep division in Bellator. There are game opponents. Just fight somebody that's ranked in your system, man. Like, I don't need any more of these like cupcake fights. He's ready, I think. He needs to get tested. Now, with the co-main, Corey Anderson versus Vadim Nitkov, I blew that out. That was terrible. Corey Anderson has arrived. Corey Anderson is motivated. He is hungry. This man wants to be champion, and he wanted that $1 million. Granted, unfortunately, it was a no contest, so I'm not 0-2 technically, but he was winning the fight. So, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but Vadim was going to lose this fight. I think he was gonna gas him. He was getting gassed out. He was getting tired. Corey's pushing the pace, and he was just honestly the all-around better fighter. Now in a rematch, we'll see how that goes. I might still favor Nemkov because I would assume that he can adjust, which he needs to. Because if he doesn't, he's gonna get waxed. Like probably even worse. Because Corey has all the confidence now. He might be overconfident. Who knows? But yeah, I was disappointed. Now with the main event, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The judges nailed this completely. I don't think it was 4-1. I think that was a little crazy. But 3-2, Patricio Pitbull, I think that was correct. I think Pitbull won 3 rounds. I had him winning 2, 3, and 4. Actually, no, 2, 3. Was it 2, 3, and 4? Yeah, I think I had him winning 2, 3, and 4. First round was a toss-up, but I gave it to AJ still, even though they both weren't doing too much. 5th round easily was AJ. We already know 3rd round was easily Pitbull. Other rounds were dicey. I'm not too mad at people thinking AJ won, but I don't think he did enough. And I was a little disappointed in how AJ looked. I mean, he had no real answer for leg kicks, for the calf kicks. I mean, he also was when he was forced to lead, he wasn't as effective as I expected him to be still. Because I mean, as I recall, he knocked him down off of leading. So it was weird. But Patricio literally was like, I'm just gonna chill here, and I'm gonna let you come to me, and then, you know, I'm gonna pick you apart, which is crazy from the shorter fighter is winning from the outside. Thought that was very interesting. I loved AJ's wrestling. I love the fact that he got put into danger and still came back hard. His cardio seemed to be fine in the 5th round. Like, he started to slow down, obviously, but he was still going for takedowns and stuff in the later rounds, which is still impressive. And I mean, I did see a lot from him. It was a close fight. I'm excited for the 3rd one. I do think the 3rd one's I do think the 3rd one's gonna be the best one. And it was a very technical, and it was a dogfight. These guys both wanted it, and you can see that they wanted it. Like I said, I had Pitbull winning. I think what's next is obviously a trilogy. You gotta have these guys fight again, see who's the best. And if AJ wins, maybe he defends his belt, maybe goes to 155. I think he has the frame for 55. We'll see how that goes though. But yeah, that was exciting. But the card was good. Bellator was better than UFC. That's not too often, but this was definitely one of the weekends. Now, let's talk about the fight that everybody really cares about, which is your Dennis Ugas versus Errol Spence Jr. For the people who do not know, I've had Errol Spence in my top 3. I think I had him 2 in my latest poll of pound for pound. I've had him over Terrence Crawford. I always had him over Terrence Crawford. And the reason why is mainly because I'm over resume based. If I think the talent is equal or close to equal, I'm gonna go off of who has the best resume. Errol Spence has a better resume than Terrence Crawford at 147. You don't like it, it is what it is. It's just a fact. Sorry. Now, he went against Ugas, who just beat Manny Pacquiao, who's only lost fights as a split decision. He's never been dominated, ever. And he's fought some dogs. All right, Sean Porter being one. And there's been judges who think he's honestly undefeated. So that tells you that he can make fights close no matter who's his opponent, who's he going against. And also, this guy's a medalist, bro. He's an Olympic fighter. So this guy's talented. And if you don't know his backstory about, you know, leaving Cuba, you can look that up yourself. But everyone had this being a very, very close fight. People said 55-45, 60-40, Spence. Spence should win, but he's going to be in for a war or a tough challenge because Ugas is a counter puncher, but he's very accurate, very sharp. And he can probably be able to nullify a little bit of Errol Spence's game. If you saw the fight, you saw that didn't happen at all. It wasn't even close. This fight was an absolute beatdown. I mean, there's literally no other way to honestly say it. It was a beatdown. The first 4 rounds was first 4 rounds were competitive. I still think Errol Spence edged it out in each of those rounds. Maybe give him the 3rd round, but I thought that I saw enough out of Errol with the output and the harder shots that it was Errol that was the better guy. Then the 6th round happened, and honestly, you know, when you're watching as a fan, you know, from a distance, you didn't see the mouthpiece come out. You didn't know what was happening. You thought he genuinely got rocked just because he got clipped a couple of seconds before. But then at the slow moment, and you see that he was rocked, but he wasn't hurt, which is the difference. And Errol Spence, I mean, I was so impressed, not even just off of the 4 rounds or whatever, but I was so impressed after he got rocked, how he finished the round, and then how he responded in the next round, having the best round of the fight, beating the crap out of Ugas in the 7th round. And then in the 8th round, take it a step further and really start to go to work to the point I was like, all right, This is about to end bad. And it didn't. I mean, he broke his face. And nobody's done that to Ugas. Nobody has beaten this dude that bad. Like, short notice fight with Manny Pacquiao, he fought way better. And this is once again to say, like, no joke, Manny Pacquiao got saved. Manny Pacquiao might have got hurt really bad. So I'm glad that Errol Spence actually had to get out that fight, because Manny would have looked really, really bad versus that. Like, Errol Spence is another dog, man. The volume is so impressive. I can't understate how, I can't overstate how crazy it is to have such a large output and to still have power in your punches, to still have the cardio to throw 4 combinations the 8th round. That's not normal. People can't just do that. That is a person that works hard, is determined, and a person that honestly is blessed with a great cardio, like great gas tank. That's just unseen for me. Throwing 800, 700 punches in 9 rounds, it's crazy. So, I mean, Ugas was done from the start, man. Like, those jabs with the combination, with the body shots, with the slipping, and then also getting inside his guard, literally hand fighting him just to throw an uppercut, just to throw an overhand. It was just too much, man. It's just overwhelming. Like, what can you do? People were like, well, he needs to threaten him with something. It's easier said than done when a person is literally throwing so many combinations at you constantly. Errol is a powerful guy. He doesn't just throw pillow punches. He's hurt. So yeah, you're gonna shell up a little bit because this guy's not stopping. You wanna wait for your opening. You don't wanna just throw blindly, because you will get slept. Errol Spence will sleep you. So, I mean, he got his face broke and he literally was shelling up the whole time. Imagine if he didn't shell up. So, and that is part of Ugas' game. That's the type of fighter he is. It was unfortunate that slip up happened with the 1-2 that caught Errol Spence and rocked him, but it was also an eye opener of, one, you need to protect yourself, and that's a Floyd thing. You know that. Regardless, though, very impressive. We need to see the fight that we want to see. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is the fight to make. It's always been the fight to make. We have to see it. These guys are amazing. Like, southpaw versus switch stance. And then we have both guys who are powerful. Terence Crawford is probably the more of a power puncher. But then we have the combinations and the inside game of Errol Spence. We have the cardio of the Errol Spence. We have the fight IQ of both. I mean, like, legit. This is, we want to see it. We need to see it. These guys are already in their 30s. Like, Terence Crawford close to probably in his mid-30s. We need to see this fight right now. I am so hyped for this. Nobody has ever done this to Ugas, and Ugas is a very good fighter. And Errol Spence made him look like he didn't even belong in the same ring with him. Sorry, man. Like, this is a 50-50 fight. I've always said that I think Errol will win, but it is a tough fight for both men, and I'm so excited for it. But tell me, guys, what you think of the breakdown, what you think of my show, what you think of me personally, like, as, you know, a host, what I need to work on, all that good stuff. But thank you, as always, for watching. I appreciate you. You know, follow me on social medias at Showtime, saying if you know what it is. Be blessed and stay locked.